In 1993, the most important question in martial arts history was asked and answered. What is the most effective martial art on the planet?
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Royce went in there, defeated the giants, overcame all odds, proving once and for all that with timing, leverage, energy efficiency, and perfectly applied,
Alavanca.
anything is possible, especially for a smaller, weaker individual. Jiu-Jitsu was the only way. Now, there were a lot of people who were very upset by the surfacing of this reality, by the revelation of this truth. And in their anger, they created a new question.
How about multiple attackers?
Yes. Implying that Jiu-Jitsu is maybe effective against one-on-one, but not effective against multiple attackers. And now we're here to tell you that it's been 23 years, and this claim or this argument against multiple attackers is stronger than ever, and it's time to put it to rest forever. You guys, we're here to tell you that the only effective strategy against multiple attackers is to run for your life.
Very true. It's that simple, guys.
If you practice kickboxing,
Run.
karate,
Run.
taekwondo,
Run.
judo,
Run.
kung fu,
Run.
sumo,
Run faster.
stop, speed walk, sumo,
Oh, yeah. Correct.
sumo,
Correct.
speed walk,
Speed walk. Speed
okay?
walk, yeah.
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu,
Run.
yes, you guys. It doesn't matter if you're in Torrance with Henry Gracie, Hidon Gracie, or at the CTC in Makati City, Philippines, with my man here, Kevin Gamboa. It doesn't matter where you are. Run for your life. It's the only strategy that is reliable against multiple attackers. And here's what's crazy, is that everything else is a lie.
It's shockingly true.
Everything else is a lie. And here's what's crazy. The lie that there is a strategy effective to defeat multiple opponents is the biggest liability in the history of martial arts.
Worldwide, my friends.
I need to say it
Worldwide.
again. The lie that there is a strategy for multiple attackers that is reliable is the biggest liability in martial arts history. Why is this true? Because very simple. It doesn't matter how fast your punches or kicks are, all effective martial arts techniques, whether it's a choke, armbar, or a punch in the face, or a kick in the head,
Yes, yeah.
they all rely on distance management.
Exactly.
And you cannot manage distance against two or more people simultaneously.
That's very true. Because while you're punching one, guess what's happening? The other guy's coming to get me over here. I can't let go. Boom.
Yes.
You know, it's not effective.
It's not effective.
Yeah, it's not.
To knock out one person is hard enough. So while you're
Exactly.
committing to that and the other person grabs you and tackles you, you have no control over that.
Exactly.
So in martial arts, all boils down to distance management. Anybody who says you can strike them and be effective with the strikes is implying that they're coming at you one at a time. For them to say, no, they can both come and I'm going to hit them both at the same time, that's the lie. Here's the deal, you guys. What's the number one claim? When we talk about, because people want to shoot at jiu-jitsu because of its position on top of the mountain as the most energy efficient and reliable art for any person to learn for self-defense. Because of that position, people are shooting at it. And in their claim of why it's ineffective, what do they say?
Well, they're just saying that, you know, because of the way they see jiu-jitsu, it's all on the ground. How we want to go to the ground.
Oh yeah, jiu-jitsu sucks against multiple attackers because if you go to the ground, it's a death wish.
Correct.
Now here's what's crazy. We agree.
Yeah, we do.
Now, so what it boils down to is we agree 100% that going to the ground is the worst thing you can do against multiple attackers. So we agree with the world's claim that being on the ground is a bad idea. And the world's claim that that's what we're teaching is wrong. And that's where we miss. Got it? So if we end up in a ground fight, by no means is that something that we initiated. Let's go to the ground against multiple, because why not? What's the strategy against multiple attackers? What's the strategy?
To run, guys.
Run. So we already told you every time, get out of the fight.
Correct.
If we go to the ground, it's because running was not possible.
And we went on the ground against our will.
Yes, which will happen to every other martial art. Striking base, striking, poking, eye gouging, kicking, head kick. Doesn't matter what you practice. You too, if you stay in that standing altercation, you're going to get taken to the ground by multiple attackers. So we all agree that nobody wants to be on the ground. That's agreed. 100% unanimous?
100%.
100%. Run for your life. Never go to the ground. However, if the ground happens, it's comparable to getting pushed into a pool against your will. You didn't want to go in the pool, but someone shoved you in. And I'll tell you this, we'll come back. And I'll tell you this right now. When you get thrown in the pool, there's only one skill that matters.
Swimming. That's it.
And swimming in a pool and surviving a ground fight are the same thing. The skill in a ground fight against your will that is comparable to swimming is Jiu-Jitsu. You guys? Because how do you expect to get out of a pool that you don't want to be in if you don't know how to swim? And when you or we are taken to the ground against our will, because we never initiate a ground fight in multiple attackers, when that happens, what's the only skill that matters? Get off your back without giving up your back. And Jiu-Jitsu is the only art that can effectively teach that to you.
Very true.
Let's demonstrate.
All right.
So if Kevin gets taken to the ground because he was running and he slipped on a banana, the guy's caught up. The one guy who's the more athletic one and the other guy's trailing behind. The one guy who catches up first is going to jump on top of him. And what can we assume? We can assume that if any Jiu-Jitsu trained person ends up in a ground fight, that at the very least, from any position, you can put him in the guard within a matter of 1 second, 2 seconds.
Correct.
Because the guy on top who does not know Jiu-Jitsu cannot maintain side control or any other position or mount because you're going to elbow escape and put him in the guard. So all branches lead to the same tree. All streams to the same river, which is the worst case scenario for you is bottom of the guard when the person jumps on top of you. And then when you're there, the only thing that matters is survival and get back to your feet in less than 7 seconds. 7 seconds or less. So check it out. And now we're up, and he's back to his feet. And while the other guy trailing him behind catches up or gets nearby, Kevin is gone. That was too fast, bro. I need to do it slower so we can actually explain.
Okay.
That would have been cool.
Apologies.
If there was actually my brother coming to beat you up right now, that would have been
bro. Yeah,
the moral of the story is getting to your feet is the only skill that matters. And Jiu-Jitsu can teach you how to do that. Because let's be real, if you're learning like wrestling or judo or any of the grappling arts who are so entirely committed to avoiding being on your back, your only reflex in wrestling, and I've trained with a lot of wrestlers, and I wrestled in high school, is what? Get off your back. So they're going to roll over. They're going to turn over. And when they get here, boom, they're going to get kneed in the head, and you're done. Go back. So the idea is not just to get up. The idea is how can you get off your back without giving up your back? So when he lands in stage 1, boom, first thing is don't get knocked out. Okay? And then as soon as this happens, he comes in with the frame, he shrimps out, knee shield, foot on the hip, wrist control, chop the tree, go. Boom, and look, immediate base get up off the cross arm drag right here. Come again. One more time in slow motion. And it doesn't matter how big this person is, if they're holding really tight and Kevin's bringing his arm in, we want to make a frame across my neck. The frame is only as powerful as its anchor point, like this. Okay, this is called a single frame. It's very powerful. If you can get it this high. The problem is, let's say this person really just wants to hold you down until their friends come. Look, and they're low. So Kevin's going to use what's called the double frame. Show us, Kevin, slow.
So I come under the neck, make my anchor. Look, 1 and then 2.
Ooh.
Now it's a double frame. And now watch. Motorcycle style, Harley Davidson all the way. Boom! Look at the ramp. Now knee shield, protecting the distance. Grab one wrist and chop the 3. Boom! And get up in base, and now you're out of here.
Boom, calm down. Come back. You guys, that double frame right there, go back and watch that at least 17 times. Because that double frame that Kevin just shared is not just effective for multiple attackers, that's framing anywhere in Jiu-Jitsu. When you're having trouble anchoring the shoulder, you double frame, and then you never have any trouble, and your frame is as powerful as ever. It's the best frame in Jiu-Jitsu, is that one. We've never shared it on video. We thought today would be a good day to do that. So again, it doesn't matter how I'm on top of Kevin, he's going to get me in his guard. And once in the guard, what's he going to do? Get off his back without giving up his back.
Perfect.
So crazy.
That's the only principle we all need to remember. It's so simple and it's so universal.
And here's the thing. You won't be able to get up calmly out of a ground fight unless you understand a ground fight.
Correct. And what better art to teach you how to be calm and comfortable in the worst case scenario?
Yes, if you want to learn to get out of a pool, go learn how to swim. If you're scared of being in a ground fight in a multiple attacker situation, which you should be, because you will get taken against your will. We're not going to the ground unless they force us down.
Correct.
If you get taken down, you have to be able to get back up quickly and effectively. Now, here's the irony. The belief that there exists a strategy.
Yeah, oh man.
Standing, the lie that is being perpetuated that there exists reliable standing strategies against multiple attackers by staying in the fight and trying to defeat them. that lie is what keeps you in the fire longer.
Correct.
And that person who believes that lie is more likely to get taken to the ground than the Jiu-Jitsu student who believes what we're telling them, which is run for your life.
Exactly, because it's so funny. Like, the more you don't know Jiu-Jitsu, the more you're gonna need it.
Yes.
It's so, yeah.
So the irony is, the people who are on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and every social media platform claiming, oh, Jiu-Jitsu sucks against multiple attackers, are the ones who, if they got in a fight against multiple attackers, would be trying to apply strategies that are unproven, ineffective, and unreliable, and keep them in the fire. So they're the ones who are going to get taken down to the ground and wish they knew how to get back to their feet instantaneously. You guys, going to the ground in a multiple attacker is a death wish.
Very true.
And your only chance of escaping that death wish, when put there against your will, is with Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and comfort in worst case scenarios. Get off your back without giving up your back. Because if you simply flop, it makes the situation worse. Now you're face down and you can't see the incoming strikes.
Exactly.
Now, are there exceptions? Of course. You go on YouTube, and that's what all the Jiu-Jitsu haters love. The one video of the guy who hits,
and the guy
strikes,
goes down, boom,
knocks out. Three
boom,
drunk guys come, one at a
down.
time. He knocks out
Yeah.
three of them with perfect strikes, and he's a former Golden Gloves boxing champion.
Correct.
Congratulations. You guys, trust me, I watch that and I go, man, that's dope. That's amazing.
Same.
Right, but for every one video that is the case, there are 100 videos of people getting jumped, hopelessly trying to hit and getting taken to the ground and getting beat up because they don't know what to do. Stomp, kick, step, kick, punch, everything you can imagine.
And it's all at the same time, so
Yes.
man, it's
You guys,
impossible.
the only skill that matters against multiple attackers is getting back to your feet when taken to the ground against your will. And the only art that teaches that is Jiu-Jitsu. Now, if you can't run, escape is not an option. You must be in the fight. Of course, you're going to die trying. You're going to go with whatever resources you have, be it striking, and that can be beneficial, or be it choking and breaking and tapping the person out, incapacitated in the ground fight.
Yeah,
if you're on the ground, you're not striking anybody. You're surviving.
Correct. And you're going to go really hard. Snap, break, choke,
Whatever you can.
punch, kick, anything.
I could get guys, I'd bring me 3 guys, and I'll fight to the death if I had to, and I'll fight out of 10 times, I might beat the 3 once. But that doesn't mean that that strategy is the one I'm going to lie to the world about and perpetuate the myth based on a YouTube video or even my own personal capabilities. You guys, the lie is the biggest liability. So are there things you might try if you can't get away, you can't run, or you're on the ground and this is not possible? Of course. But the strategy and the message that should be perpetuated worldwide is get out. And if you're on the ground, get up. That's the only thing that matters. Get up and get out. Get up and get out. Get up and get out. Because anything else is going to create the illusion that staying in and defeating them is possible. So what is the most effective martial art against multiple attackers?
None.
And what's the one most reliable strategy if you do get in a fight against multiple attackers?
Run.
For your life.
Exactly.
And if running is not possible, it's because you're on the ground against your will. And when that happens, what's the only skill set you want to have?
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
That's it, you guys. That's it. Now, the irony is, we teach women empowered, amazing women's self-defense classes for sexual assault twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays with my wife, Eve. The girls love it. Amazing group of women here. And when we teach the women self-defense against a male assailant who's trying to sexually assault, the only victory, survival, is getting away. And getting away is survival. That's all that matters. Just get away from the attacker.
Exactly. You don't need to choke him out or arm lock him.
Victory is getting away.
Perfect.
And what's crazy is that the world needs to assume the same mindset against multiple attackers. Victory is running for your life.
Exactly.
And learning all the skills necessary to do exactly that. From the ground up. Right? So sprint training, guard get-ups, and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu off your back. Those are the skills we need to perpetuate and teach for people to have a realistic chance. Versus, no, we have a system that defeats multiple attackers. The very word defeats implies overcoming while staying in the fire, and that conviction that that move actually exists and is real, that's the lie that we're so concerned about. And man, I'm sure people have died because of this lie.
Yeah, correct.
No jiu-jitsu instructor is saying go to the ground against multiple attackers. And every jiu-jitsu instructor should be saying, once on the ground, let's get to our feet and get out as fast as possible. And any martial arts instructor who's saying anything other than get away from the fight as quickly as possible, you're creating a liability that is doing more harm than good. And I know all of you are in it with the right purpose. You teach martial arts because you want to help people. And unintentionally, you're doing the opposite by creating the illusion that there is a strategy, effective, or a martial art system that is effective against multiple attackers in defeating them. Anything other than get out of the fight is a lie, and it makes perfect sense that the word lie is embedded in liability because that's what you're creating. You guys, if you're in Makati City, Philippines, anywhere in the Philippines, go check out Kevin, okay?
We got you guys, we got you.
His energy is off the charts, or we can call it the Kevin G, straight up.
Hey!
Because it's freaking crazy. One of the best teachers in the entire organization. He holds it down on a different level. People, his students love him. Now, he's in the Philippines. If you're not in the Philippines, go to gracieuniversity.com, and there's a certified training center near you that teaches what we saw here and everything else you can possibly imagine, you guys. If you don't want to get stuck up against multiple attackers, be comfortable in a ground fight, because that's the only way you're going to get out of the pool is if you know how to swim. Okay? It's very simple. I hope this message landed. I have one more very special announcement that I'd like to make for all of you guys. And that is to congratulate my friend Kevin on his purple belt.
Oh, man.
Sir?
Oh, my goodness. What an honor.
Especially because he got up in base. Kevin's been training since when? 2008 with us, right? 2008, racing Jiu-Jitsu. He's been coming here pretty much every year for extended periods of time to train and sharpen the sword. But more importantly, he's back home holding it down on the realest level at his certified training center. We couldn't be more proud with him and all the other certified training centers. And if you don't believe in it, go train with him and you'll believe in it real quick, especially with the guillotines. He's got them locked in super tight as of lately, bro. Congratulations.
Learn from the best. Guillotine master right here.
Keep up the great work. The rest of you guys, thanks for holding it down.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Congratulations.